Most men walk into marriage thinking love is enough. They are wrong. Love gets you to the altar. It does not keep you there. Every day, good men lose great marriages, not because they stopped caring, but because they never understood certain things about the woman right in front of them. They find out the truth too late. After the silence. After the distance. After the damage is already done. So today, we are talking about 6 things men learn too late about women in marriage. Not opinions. Not fantasy. Just the honest reality most people are afraid to say out loud. This is not a video about blame. This is not about saying men are the problem or women are perfect. This is about awareness. Because the man who understands his wife deeply will always have an advantage over the man who assumes everything is fine. 6 lessons. Pay attention to every single one. 1. A woman does not need your money as much as she needs your presence. A lot of men in marriage make the same mistake. They work harder. They provide more. They think financial security means emotional security. It does not. You can give a woman everything on paper, the house, the car, the vacations, and she can still feel completely alone inside that marriage. Here is what most husbands do not realize. When a woman says, "You are never really here," she is not talking about your body. She is talking about your attention, your focus, your mind. You are sitting right next to her, but your eyes are on a screen. Your thoughts are somewhere else. She is speaking, and you are half listening. That adds up. Slowly, quietly, she stops sharing. She stops reaching out. She stops trying to connect. And one day, a man looks up and realizes his wife has become a stranger living in the same house. That did not happen overnight. It happened in every moment he chose distraction over her. A man who masters presence in his marriage will never wonder why his wife feels disconnected. 2. A woman never forgets how you made her feel during the hard moments. You will forget the argument. She will not. Not because she holds grudges, but because women process emotion differently. When a woman goes through something painful, a loss, a failure, a moment of vulnerability, she looks at her husband. She is watching what he does. Does he dismiss her? Does he make her feel like she is overreacting? Does he walk away? Or does he stay? Men think marriage is built in the big moments. The anniversaries. The grand gestures. Wrong. Marriage is built in the small, hard, unglamorous moments. The moment you stayed when you wanted to leave the room. The moment you listened when you were tired. The moment you chose her feelings over your comfort. Those moments stack up. And so do the opposite ones. Many men realize too late that years of emotional dismissal left their wife feeling completely unseen. Not disrespected. Not unloved. Just invisible. And a woman who feels invisible in her own marriage will eventually start looking for somewhere she feels real. Pay attention during the hard moments. That is where the real marriage is built. 3. Silence from a woman is not peace. It is a warning. This one catches men off guard every single time. A woman stops arguing. She stops bringing up issues. She stops reacting. The husband thinks, finally, things have calmed down. No. That quiet is not calm. That quiet is conclusion. When a woman is vocal, she still cares enough to fight for the relationship. When she goes silent, she has already started to process life without you. Most men only notice the silence when it is too late, when the decision has already been made in her mind. Here is what you need to understand. A woman will tell you something is wrong many times before she stops telling you. She will bring it up. She will hint at it. She will show you in her behavior. But if a man keeps ignoring those signals, if he keeps brushing them off, minimizing them, or getting defensive every single time, she stops. Not because the problem is gone. Because she is. The man who learns to read his wife's silence before it becomes permanent will save himself from a pain that words cannot describe. 4. A woman will stay in a marriage out of duty. But duty is not devotion. This truth is uncomfortable. But it needs to be said. Some women stay married for years, raising the kids, running the household, showing up every day, not because they feel deeply connected to their husband, but because leaving feels impossible. The finances, the children, the family pressure, the fear of starting over. And the husband? He thinks everything is fine. He sees her there. He sees her functioning. He assumes that means she is fulfilled. That assumption has destroyed thousands of marriages. A woman can be physically present in a marriage and emotionally completely gone. And the worst part is, the man often does not notice until she finally finds the courage to leave. Or until the emotional distance becomes undeniable. Here is the lesson. Do not mistake her staying for her thriving. Ask your wife, not in a casual way, genuinely ask her if she feels happy. If she feels valued. If this marriage still feels like a partnership. Most men are afraid of that conversation. The men who have it. They tend to keep their marriages. The men who avoid it. They often lose them without ever understanding why. 5. Appreciation is not automatic. She needs to hear it out loud. Men often assume their wife knows she is valued. She knows I love her. I don't have to say it every day. That is the wrong way to think about it. A woman who is managing the household, raising children, supporting a career, holding the family together, she is doing an enormous amount every single day. And if her husband never acknowledges it, never says I see you, and I am grateful, that absence starts to feel like invisibility. She does not need a speech. She does not need a grand event. She needs to hear simple, specific, genuine words on a regular basis. I noticed how hard you worked today. You handled that really well. I do not say this enough, but I appreciate you. Those sentences cost nothing. But their absence costs everything. Many men learn too late that their wife did not leave because she was unloved. She left because she never felt it. 6. A woman stays loyal to the man she respects. Not just the man she loves. This is the hardest lesson on this entire list. Love is not enough to hold a marriage together. A woman can genuinely love her husband and still lose respect for him. And once respect goes, the foundation of that marriage starts cracking, no matter how many good memories exist. What causes a woman to lose respect? When a man has no boundaries. When he lets people walk over him, including her, and does nothing. When he abandons his own goals and becomes completely consumed by the relationship. When he reacts emotionally, inconsistently, or out of fear instead of clarity. When he stops leading himself. Understand this. A woman does not want a man who is harsh or cold. But she also cannot build lasting respect for a man who has no spine. She needs to see discipline in him. Standards. Self-respect. She needs to know that the man she married still has direction, still has principles, and still holds himself accountable. The moment she loses that image of him, the moment admiration fades, the relationship starts moving toward roommate territory. And roommates do not build lasting marriages. A man who respects himself will almost always have a wife who respects him too. That is not a coincidence. That is cause and effect. So let us bring it all together. 6 things men learn too late about women in marriage. 1. She needs your presence more than your paycheck. 2. She remembers how you showed up during her hardest moments. 3. Her silence is not peace. It is a decision forming. 4. Staying is not the same as being happy. Ask her. 5. Appreciation has to be spoken out loud, consistently. 6. She will stay loyal to the man she respects, so never stop being that man. Most men learn these lessons after the distance has grown too wide to cross. You do not have to be that man. The earlier you understand how marriage actually works, not how we wish it worked, but how it actually works, the stronger your relationship becomes. Knowledge is not weakness. Awareness is not softness. It is what separates the men who build lasting marriages from the men who spend years wondering where it all went wrong. If this video opened your eyes in any way, hit that like button right now. Subscribe if you are new here. We put out content that actually helps men show up better in their relationships. And share this with someone who needs to hear it today. You never know whose marriage you might save. See you in the next one.